Hello friends, welcome to Cognitive Learning. Today we'll discuss about biomarkers of breast cancer. Now let's discuss about cancer biomarkers. A cancer biomarker refers to a substance or process which indicate the presence of cancer in the body. That is, a biomarker may be a molecule secreted by a tumor or a specific response of the body to the presence of cancer. However, the definition of biomarkers has been evolving over the past decade. If we talk in terms of clinical utility, a cancer biomarker may measure the risk of developing cancer in a specific tissue or may measure the risk of cancer progression or potential response to therapy. Also, it linked to specific molecular pathway deregulation and cancer pathogenesis to justify application of certain therapeutic strategies. Now, discussing about cancer biomarker classification, there are three types: predictive biomarkers, prognostic biomarkers, and diagnostic biomarkers. Predictive biomarkers predict response to specific therapeutic intervention. For example, positivity or activation of HER2 predicts response to trastuzumab in breast cancer. Similarly, cross-activating mutation predict resistance to EGFR inhibitors such as cetuximab in colorectal cancer. Now, if we talk about prognostic biomarkers, on the other hand, may not directly link to or trigger specific therapeutic decision. It provides information about the risk of clinical outcomes such as cancer reoccurrence or disease progression in the future. For example, the 21 gene reoccurrence score, which is called as RSSA, provides prognostic information for distant reoccurrence in hormone receptor positive, ERBB2 negative, early breast cancer, that is independent of clinical pathologic feature and is also predictive of chemotherapy response in high RS node negative tamoxifen treated breast cancer. And another class of biomarkers is diagnostic biomarker, which is used to identify whether a particular patient has a specific disease condition. Diagnostic biomarkers have recently been implemented for colorectal cancer surveillance by testing the stool cancer DNA. Now, discussing about breast cancer. What is breast cancer? Breast cancer is a group of disease in which cells in breast tissue change and divide uncontrolled, typically resulting in a lump or mass. Most breast cancers begin in the lobules, that is milk gland, or in the duct that connect the lobules to the nipple. Around 30% of total cancer in women worldwide is breast cancer. Signs and symptoms. Physical signs is a painless lump. Sometimes breast cancer spreads to underarm lymph nodes and causes a lump or swelling. Persistent swelling, thickening, or redness of the skin and spontaneous discharge. Coming to the diagnosis of breast cancer, breast cancer is typically detected either during screening before symptoms have developed or after a woman notices a lump. Most masks seen on a mammogram and most breast lumps turn out to be non-cancerous, that is benign. When cancer is suspected, tissue or microscopic analysis is usually obtained from a needle biopsy. Here, Fine needle or large core needle can be used, and less often from surgical biopsies. Selection of the type of biopsy is based on multiple factors, including the size and location of the mass, as well as patient factors and preference and resources. Here we have seen the comparison of incidence of breast cancer and mortality rate worldwide. Here we can see non-Hispanic white women, they show high incidence rates of breast cancer when compared with the least with Asians. The same thing it goes with mortality. But mortality rate is high with non-Hispanic black. Now, discussing about the subtype of breast cancer. There are different subtype of breast cancer like ductal carcinoma in situ. It is a non-invasive, limit to milk duct, development of lump in the breast and secrete discharges. Next one is invasive ductal carcinoma, which is an invasive form. There is inflammation in the breast also with a discharge. Medullary carcinoma, which is again an invasive type, inflammation and secrete discharge. Followed by luminal A. It is an estrogen receptor and progesterone positive, low level of protein Ki67, which helps to control cell growth, low grade, tend to grow slowly and have the best prognosis. Luminal B. Estrogen receptor and or progesterone receptor positive with either HER positive negative with high level of Ki67, grow slightly faster than luminal A but with poor prognosis. HER2 positive, estrogen and progesterone receptor negative but HER2 positive, grow faster with poor prognosis. Basal-like. This is a triple negative with estrogen, progesterone and HER negative, most prevalent with BRCA1 gene mutation. Now under this triple negative, again we have different subtypes of triple negative breast cancers. If we talk about triple negative breast cancer, which is also called as TNBC, it is a significant clinical implication, overlaps basal-like breast cancer. It is the most prevalent and highly aggressive subtype of breast cancer among young women. It is characterized by the absence of estrogen receptor, progesterone and humoral epidermal growth factor receptor 2, that is HER2 genes. Lack of these receptors make TNBC aggressive and non-responsive to hormonal and targeted therapies. Moreover, TNBC is highly metastatic and can reoccur within the 3 years of treatment. Distant reoccurrence is seen in the brain, liver and lungs and less frequently in bone. Identification of its subtype is essential for understanding the biological characteristic and clinical behavior of TNBC, as well as for developing personalized treatment. Each subtype has a specific biomarkers and show different rate of proliferation and invasiveness. The identification of specific subtype and biomarkers characterized by different biological pathway and various sensitivities to chemotherapy is instrumental in developing a more personalized therapy for TNBC. Here we come across basal-like 1 BL1 type, basal-like immune suppressed BLIS, basal-like 2 immunomodulators, mesenchymal stemli and luminal androgen receptors. Now talking about breast cancer biomarkers. Here we are going to discuss about estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor, human epidermal growth factor receptor HER2, MIB1, that is Ki67 proliferation index. Now, among the molecular markers associated with breast cancer, the estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor and HER2 along with Ki67 proliferation index are the most important one and are firmly established in the standard care of all primary, recurrent and metastatic breast cancer patients. Estrogen and progesterone receptor together with HER2 status represent the most important molecular markers in the standard care of all primary, recurrent and metastatic breast cancer patient. And the standardized assessment of the ER, HER, H2 status is crucial in the evaluation of very newly diagnosed breast cancer. Hormonal receptors positive disease represent usually an indolent and slowly growing tumors with longer time to reoccurrence. The responsiveness of a tumor to hormone therapy is an important parameter in breast cancer management in both adjuvant and metastatic settings. Now, discussing about estrogen and progesterone receptor. Cancer cells sometimes use certain hormones in the body to grow. So, it is important to know this information for each patient. Breast cancer, that is called ER positive, depends on the hormone estrogen to grow, while PR positive means tumor depends on the hormone progesterone to grow. This status help to decide the treatment by hormonal or endocrine therapy. Example, the use of aromatase inhibitors or Faslodex, Nolvadex, or use of ovarian suppression which stops the ovaries from producing estrogen. The next one is HER2, which is a protein found in all breast cells but at different amount. When a breast cell has an unusual high level of HER2, it can drive breast cancer. The status of HER2 helps to treat the disease by using anti-HER drugs like the use of Herceptin, Perjeta, Teicar or TDM1 and Galicicla. Now, other markers are Oncotype DX, Endopredict, Breast Cancer Index, PAM15, UPA and PAI1, Mammaprint, Mammostrat, Immunohistochemistry 4, circulating tumor cells, tumor infiltrating lymphocytes and Ki67. Thus, biomarkers are important in cancer diagnosis and management. In advancement towards precision medicine, the field of cancer biomarker discovery has rapidly expanded over the last few decades. This has been developed by advances in technologies and approaches including next-gen sequencing, mass spectrometry, circulating tumor cells, and cell-free DNA. The discovery and use of specific prognostic and predictive biomarkers have enabled the application of targeted precision therapy to specific molecular subgroup of patients likely to gain benefits. Additionally, the use of biomarkers can allow for the identification of patients with a favorable prognosis who can safely be spared from unnecessary overtreatment. That's all for today. Hope you liked the video. Thank you. For more information on my research, do visit my website and please share your comments and do subscribe my channels. Thank you.